Yes, hi again. Lynn Davenport. So I started watching the results of the Texas Virtual Learning Commission, and I wrote an article I published on LinkedIn about who was behind this initiative to bring in the virtual learning. I found that those who were leading the charge are those who put their kids in classical private schools where they don't go to school in the metaverse. Dallas ISD has a metaverse campus. They call it the Educational Metaverse. It's a school within a video game, Dallas Hybrid Prep. They go to school 3 days as an avatar in the metaverse. And then they go to school 2 days in a physical building. Is that what you want? Is to bring in more virtual learning where kids are avatars in the metaverse doing digital learning, when the man from Texas 2036 says, yeah, actually it didn't work so well for us to have our kids online, sheltered at home during the pandemic, but let's bring in more of this. And Senator Bettencourt, how were you educated? How were your kids educated? In a classical, traditional setting with books, paper, pencils, and great teachers, human teachers. They weren't avatars.
Ms. Davenport, if you
Yes,
want to
sir.
just give...
Yes, ma'am.
That's okay. If you want to just give your testimony rather than asking
Well, it's
questions
his-
for us. I
it's
know,
his bill.
but it's your
He doesn't have to
testimony.
answer. So my
your
question
testimony.
is then just a rhetorical question, I suppose. Is this what we really need for the kids who are most at risk, is to put them on a device in a virtual setting and then fund it so that the tax dollars are going to go to this?
Okay. You leave us
tell
with you leave us with food for thought, most certainly. Thank you very much, Ms.
Sure.
Lowe.
I think Ms. Bakich was.
I've called on you, Ms. Lowe. It's okay.
Thank you. So I watched all of the virtual ed committee's hearings as well, and even have a school board member who sat on that committee. And one of the things that I want to say is, how dare you? How dare you even consider funding another lane of education that we have no evidence of it being successful? And how dare you talk about that's how you're gonna educate somebody who's already in a challenging circumstance? The last thing that a pregnant teenager or anybody like that needs is to be alienated and alone with a computer. And so many of the mental health issues that we see today in our schools are caused from this virtual ed. If you guys want to fund another type of education, by God, you need to take it to the public and let the public vote on that. And furthermore, I did see a guarantee made by someone at this dais that was to fund it. You will fund it. And then I also saw that Mr. Gore, who was appointed by our commissioner, and this is a committee, this is not an elected body that made this decision, this is a committee. And this is how we are being governed now, is by a committee. This was a committee that made this recommendation. It was a committee appointed by our governor. This is tyranny, when the governor has that much control over what we do. And the people who can hold accountability to that is the people at this dais. And we expect it, as citizens of Texas, for you to hold them responsible for that. This is an outrageous addition to expanding the education lanes. You're already trying to do vouchers. You already have a failed, and you're going to put it all under TEA. All I can say is, seriously, you want us to be kind. You want us to take you serious. We need y'all to take us serious. Really. This is totally off of the charts that you're now going to fund something this outrageous. And it's all for crony deals. 100%.
Thank you, Ms. Lowe. Thank you very much. She's got.
I got it.
Meg Bakich.
Yes. My name is Meg Bakich. I'm a mother of 5, and I'm from HPISD, so I was a district that was experimented on with all the virtual learning. We experimented and piloted one-to-one devices beginning in 2013. And we have to remember, when we use the word piloted, we're experimenting on children. And once that learning loss is done, it's too late to find out, gee, it didn't work. And we learned virtual learning does not work. It's an oxymoron. And we must respect the basic right of all human beings to learn in person and in relationship to one another. Central to this process is a live teacher who is present and active in all aspects of educating. Students also deserve an education where they are free to think and to explore independently without fear of being profiled and commoditized by the data they generate. This virtual learning bill is entirely for data. It's a data grab, and there's money to be made off of our children and certainly off of the poor. And the children that are going to be harmed the worst by this are the ones that most need an academic education of equal opportunity. Mm-hmm. So my question to you that you need to ask anyone who's pushing virtual learning is, please show me, and that includes a DTEA, please show me the data that shows that putting a child on, because what's being asked of you is to remove funding from traditional classical education that has been tried and proven successful, and put that funding in an experiment that has never been shown to academically educate children, to give them an equal opportunity to rise above their circumstances. And the people this is hurting the most are those most in need of an academic education. As we all know, the one thing that no one can ever take away from you is your knowledge. What's up here? What's happening with virtual learning is our children are being denied true knowledge. They are being dumbed down so that they can be subservient slaves to the state. And the people that they're preying on are our Black, brown, and poor children. And this is unacceptable. And all of you up here who are Caucasian and wealthy, we have to stop this nonsense. We have to protect those students.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you very much. The chair now calls up Chelsea.